Hello friends, today I'm playing with some really pretty sunsets. So I thought I would share a couple with you. These are really fun if you want to do even a simple mountain range in the background. I think they're really pretty just on their own. This one I took from a picture on one of my hikes. The skies in the winter are so beautiful here. And there's lots of pastures for the cows and things. But I want to show you a couple really fun ones. Here's one that I really like. And it just gives a hint of the sun right here down below, kind of reflected. So I'm going to do that one first. And you know, if you knew calligraphy or were good at calligraphy, that's on my list to learn. It would be really pretty to put some type of beautiful quote there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm using my, this is a dagger brush. This is actually from my subscription box, but I will link a dagger brush for you down below. And this is a little bit of an example or sneak peek at some a painting that will be in my subscription box. But I really wanted to share this with you. Okay, so I have wet my entire sheet. It's just glistening. It's just shiny. And then I'm going to go in, and excuse my camera shake there. And I've got some yellow. This is cad yellow. And I'm wetting my brush. And this brush holds a lot of water. It's quite soft. And then I'm just going to go in at the top here and start putting in. And I'm actually even going to hold my paper at an angle, just like that. And then I'll go ahead and do the rest of my sheet here. What I then want to do is I went ahead and I just rinsed my brush, and I'm going to go in with this orange paint. I'm actually going to make it just a bit darker here. So it's got a little bit of red in it. That's probably too much. Oop, ooh. And just kind of go in the top here and go around my sun. And keeping in mind, this will lighten up. So while that is wet though, what I want to do, just rinsing my brush here and going to pick up just a little bit of that. There we go. Look at that beautiful wash. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Might go in with a little bit more orange at the bottom here for some real drama. Okay, before my sun dries there, I'm going to go in with just a tissue, and I'm just going to kind of blot out the sun. Just like that. So we've got this beautiful sun. I've really been into painting these sunsets lately. I think they're so pretty. And then I'm going to go in with some more of that yellow, a little bit of that orange. And I'm just going to lightly, because this will lighten up, and I want to create kind of a hint of a circle there, so it looks like it's reflecting down below. Maybe bring in a little bit of that orange. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And then I might even just tap a tiny bit of that out. I don't want it too much because I don't want it to be competing with the sun up above. So I'm even going to add a little bit in between there. And just kind of round that out. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? Now, if I wanted to lift a little bit more out, maybe just to look like some ripples in the water, I can do some lifting here. Like that. Maybe just smooth this out a tiny bit. Yeah, I think I like that with the lifting. Just to add a little something to it. So it's not exactly, but look how pretty that is. Just using a damp brush. And there we go. Isn't that lovely? Now let's do another one here. Let's make this one a little bit more dramatic. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just wetting my paper, and it's just nice and shiny. No puddles. And then I'm going to go in. I want to make this reminds me when we camped out in the desert. I want to make this pretty dramatic. So I'm going to go in with, let's start with a little bit of that yellow. I'm actually picking up some of that lemon and cad yellow. And I'm going to lay that down, and I might just prop up my sheet here so everything kind of goes downwards, kind of flows downwards. And then I'm going to go in and add some of that orange in here. Like that. Okay. And next, rinse my brush really well. And let's go in with some of that. Let me put a little bit more of that. Some of that. Let me grab a Payne's. Use a little bit of our royal blue. Let me turn my palette around here. Love this palette, by the way. There we go. So we've got some dark blues in here. Ooh, yeah, I like that. And I'm just going to go in. I mean, how dramatic does that look? And start kind of going to the side here. Get a little bit more of that Payne's gray. And I want to add in some clouds here. Just like that. Isn't that dramatic? Now I'm just going to stop right there, but I'm going to show you how I might use this. So let me just give this a quick shot with my heat gun here. And I'll know it's dry because the paper will flatten out. Just like that. Okay, doesn't that look like a stormy night? Now, as long as this is dry, which it feels like it is, and this is a great place to use an angle brush, a sword brush like mine, and I'm going to go into that Payne's gray. It's about 50-50, 50 water, 50 paint. And I'm just going to go in and create some mountains. And this is where, boy, this really reminded me of being out in the desert. The sunsets were just so dramatic and so beautiful. I'll rinse my brush a bit. And then kind of let that spread downwards, and look at that. Now, some of the things I like to do with my mountains is, number one, I'll go in and I'll just kind of add so it looks like there's some ridges there. Nothing too crazy. And then I also go in and I add just a touch of some darker areas just at the top and maybe here, just for some detail. Isn't that fun? And I love this little angle brush because I can really get some nice details with that end. And that's it. I'm done. So I hope you'll give this a try. You could really get some beautiful, dramatic colors with these, and fairly simple. Let me see if I can, it might be a little too soon. So sometimes if you rip or take off your tape too soon, it could rip some of the paper, but it's such a beautiful look with that white clean line. So this one is sticking just a tiny bit, but I really want you to see that beautiful clean edge. And I hope you give this a try because it's fairly easy. You could add mountains here, or maybe a beautiful little palm tree. So let's continue to pull that off. It's coming off pretty well. There we go. Almost done. Isn't this so dramatic? And out in the desert, boy, and I'm sure other parts of the world, those sunsets at night and in the morning were just stunning, just breathtaking. And when we lived on the beach, the sunrises and sunsets reflecting off of the water were absolutely gorgeous, just magical. Look how beautiful that is, you guys. Let me get this last piece off. That pulled off relatively well, actually. I'm using pretty good paper here, 140-pound cold press, the Artisto. And there you go. All right, everybody, I hope you give that a try, and I will see you all soon. Hop on over to Patreon. And there is a free membership there, but lots of fun content and different things, and such a supportive group. And I love it because you can share your paintings there and share them with all of us and inspire all of us. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here with me in our beautiful little community. And I'll be right here reminding you, you are an artist. Happy painting.